Hi YouTube, today I'm going to be talking about Venus in the 12th house. So sorry that I've been gone for a really long time and that you've had to wait for this video, but I'm back now and let's just get started. So Venus in the 12th. The 12th house is the house traditionally ruled by Pisces. Your Venus does not have to be in the sign of Pisces for it to be in the 12th house. Pisces is the 12th house of the zodiac. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac, therefore the 12th house and the 12th sign, which is Pisces, go hand in hand, but really it can be any sign. So it's going to give your Venus some Piscean qualities, and yeah, so let's get started. So the 12th house is about isolation. It's the house of seclusion. It's the house of emotional feeling. It's the I feel sign. Pisces is the I feel sign. So and then Venus is your love nature. Venus is the planet of love, grace, beauty, elegance, prosperity, wealth. It's how you love, it's how you go after what you want. Now, when your Venus is in the 12th house, now this is a little bit different because it's going to indicate how your Venus sign plays out and how it's affected by your childhood. Because you could have a Venus in Aries, which is a very powerful Venus, and then have it in the 12th house, and now all those Martian qualities are just going to go like boom, and it's going to be a little bit more of a quiet energy. Now, so you naturally have an aura of a lonely, quiet aura, you know what I mean? So you can probably be the type of person that nobody really notices. You go unnoticed. You can also be a little bit shy or come off shy. But a lot of these people aren't necessarily shy. It's just that they're quiet and they're very kept to themselves because growing up in your household or wherever you were, it might have been something that your feelings, your emotions, and how you dealt with them was more in private. Your beauty may have not been emphasized. You may have it like who you were as a person, and your beauty, comes from the which is Venus. It might have been overlooked. It might have been discouraged. No one might have been like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God, all of this." Because you were someone that's just naturally overlooked. It's a placement. You can't necessarily change it. It's just how they see you. It's not to say that you aren't beautiful, though, because these people have a very mystical, quiet aura around them, that it's like a very mysterious thing. It's a very alluring, beautiful aura that once you see them, it's kind of just like, who is this person? These are the type of people that have that aura that it's just like, it's not like a Venus in the 8th. I always like the 8th and the 12th house are very similar in a sense, but the 8th has more of a seductive aura that is just like, they're not necessarily shy. They're just like, oh my God, like this person has more to them. They're very mysterious. They're very sexy. This is a very quiet aura. It's not as brooding. It's more of a very simple, beautiful, elegant aura, but it's more of like a kind-hearted appeal to it. It's a very mystical, like, I want to know more about it, but it's not a scary aura like the 8th house would be. It's very loving nature. It's a very loving thing because it's Pisces, and Pisces is all about love and sympathy and caring. So therefore you attract relationships that you end up in relationships with people that need help because you have a very loving, caring look to you. So naturally, when it comes to relationships and romantic partners, they may be unstable, they may be drug addicts, they may be addicted to something, they may just be extremely emotionally unstable, or just not have a lot of money, or just come from a poor family, or come from a low status area, you know what I mean? But a lot of times you may feel compelled, or you may just feel this desire to just forget about what you want, forget about what you care about. You may lose your own values because you will give that up because you have an unconscious desire to feel needed, to feel loved, to feel validated. And growing up, because you've probably been someone that gives and gives and gives, or just someone whose needs were overlooked, you literally begin to do that in your love relationships. You will give of yourself emotionally. A lot of it is emotionally. You will compromise and compromise and compromise, but the thing is, you won't even say what you want. You kind of keep it to yourself because you're naturally like a giver, and you feel the need that in order for this person to love me, I have to give myself and my needs up because I love this person. And a lot of times you don't even realize that love is something that you make up in your head. These people are prone to have fantasies, and they live in an illusion when it comes to love. They live of that fairy tale romance, because these are hopeless romantics, but a lot of times they may not see the picture for how it is. They wear the Pisces rose-colored glasses on constantly. So when someone's mistreating them, they can mistake that for love. When they're compromising, they mistake it for love. When they feel as if they have to do something for another person to succeed and they're just in the background, they think that's love. Abuse can be sometimes love. If they're with someone that's like using them, they feel as if that person needs them, so that it's love in their eyes, but it's not. And it's a different. And then when they see their partner for who they are, Pisces, Neptune, they're ruled by Neptune. So this house is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune's all about disillusion, and it's all fantasy, and it's all kind of like lies. And you don't see the person for who they really are. And the only time you see that person for who they really are is usually when you're out of a relationship or something, or when they do something that completely crossed the line, or something that you never thought that they were capable of doing. But secretly, because this house is very intuitive, like you guys have a very intuitive nature to you without even knowing, because your subconscious mind is linked, it's very active, it's constantly active. So you are connected with other realms, of other spirits, of other things like that. You already know. You guys know what's wrong and what's right, and that what they're doing isn't supposed to be happening, and you have that little feeling that this person doesn't love me, or this is wrong, or this isn't right. But then you lie to yourselves and tell you, no, it's love, it's real, this is real. But because you guys are more attracted to the emotional connection that you have with people, the physical definition of love doesn't matter. It doesn't account for anything for you guys. You rather have an emotional connection with someone, and if that means having an emotional connection through helping them with their unstableness, then their instability, then that is what you claim as love, A lot of times you can be very private with who you like, who you admire. You may be prone to secret affairs. Not necessarily the cheating type, but it can be if you find an emotional connection with someone else. But you're very quiet about when it comes to expressing your love. But you guys can also be very much of stalkers if you feel like doing it. A lot of these people can be prone to being very analytical in a sense when they notice everything about their partner, but they keep it to themselves. They don't necessarily have to be stalkers. A lot of them don't have stalker things, because I'll get to that part later. But they're not always stalkers, but they notice everything about their partner, and they notice emotionally how they work, and it's like they become a little bit obsessive over their partner, but not in the way a Scorpio would. They do it quietly, and they don't act on it. A Scorpio would act on it. These people don't necessarily do that, and they're not necessarily the most manipulative, and they're not vindictive. They get hurt very easily. They're very sensitive souls, and they're very sympathetic to other people. So if they like someone and they're noticing all these qualities, and then they start dating someone else, it's going to be hard for them to let go, and it's going to be hard for them to let go of the fantasies and illusions that's created in their head. But when they realize it and they see it for how it is, they're going to be very, very sad. They're going to be very in their dumps, but they're not going to be like, oh, I need to go terrorize their life now. I need to go mess with the person that they're with and break them up. No, that's more of a Scorpio thing to do. These are more Pisces. These are let live and let live. Love and let love, These are the type of people that believe in, if they love me, they'll come back. If it's meant to be, they'll come back. It's type like that. They are prone to give many multiple chances. Their partner could cheat on them, and they keep taking them back, and they keep taking them back, because they believe in that emotional connection that they have is real, And a lot of times these people find that they are loving the person's soul. So if the person that they are dating does not have their anything in the 12th house, or really anything intuitive, you're connecting with their soul, with their being, because your unconscious mind is open. It's there. You can connect with other people's unconscious minds without them even knowing, and their conscious mind wouldn't even know. You can dream about them. You can talk to them in their dreams. You can probably be emotionally manipulative in a sense, because that's just what you guys do. If like there's any form of manipulation, it comes from emotional. And there can be a sort of neediness that comes with you guys, but a lot of times you keep your emotions very private. But when it comes to showing them, or when it comes to getting a partner, it can be very emotionally like manipulative. I'm not saying that's all the cases, I'm just saying that's like the lower frequency that they do manipulation, because astrologers believe that this placement in past lives, they have used their beauty and their wealth to manipulate people. So now when they need to, they can be very manipulative. That's the one thing. This is a water house. This house is a water sign house. So water is so manipulative. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. They say like Scorpio is the most manipulative, blah, blah, blah. But like, Cancer and Pisces are manipulative too. You just can't see it because they have this sweet, loving nature that's like, oh, who can manipulate me? Because the 12th house gets a lot of crazy stuff going on in their head. They have demons. They have these spirits that just come at them and these negative energies because it's open. Any spirit can come and all these energies can just flow to you. So they usually give off an aura that's very sweet. Nothing touches me. I'm pure. I'm holy. You know what I mean? But like in their mind, they're going through turmoil. So it's like, I don't know where I'm going with that, but like they hide their demons very well, but they can cast them out when it's time to, you know? And that's the thing. It's like being lured in by this. I don't know if you guys have ever read the Odyssey or heard stories about it, but those mermaids that are very enticing, they're very beautiful, and then you get close to them and closer to them and closer to them, and they get you. It's like seeing like the ugliest thing ever, or like the most dangerous thing ever. And I'm not saying that you're ugly, and I'm not saying that you're not beautiful, but I'm saying it's like they can lure you in. This is how they are enticing, because they lure you in by their sweetness, by their kindness, by their sympathy, and all of that. But then when you get really, really deep, you see all the demons and all the emotional turmoil that's underneath. It's like what you see is not what you're getting with these people, because there's so much more to them. But underneath, there's also a lot of love and compassion and caring. But it comes to a point where these people give and they understand that they can break. They can break, and they are very needy, and they feel the need to be validated through love. They don't necessarily know this, it's subconscious, but it's the aura that they give off, or like something. They need someone. A lot of them can be very codependent. So it's like getting close to these like beautiful, beautiful mermaids and beautiful sea creatures, because it's water. It's just like a little correlation I'm doing here. And then when you're really close to them and when they've really been giving, you see all of the emotional pain that they're hiding. You see how damaged and how hurt they really are. And it really depends on the people that are building themselves, because the ones that are usually more educated on astrology and the ones that are more spiritual, because they escape through spirituality, because a lot of that can become too much, so they escape through spirituality, through crystals, through tarot, through anything, so they learn to escape through that, and through that they learn to heal their emotional wounds. But the ones that don't are the ones that can be a little bit like cuckoo, they can be neurotic. There's always some emotional damage to them. So the closer that you get, the closer that you see that. So let's see. A lot of them gain their own self-esteem because growing up they may have not had a lot of it. They gain it through helping others. That is why they're givers. It's because it makes them feel good. It makes them feel validated, because they're not the people to be like, look at me, I'm awesome, I'm beautiful. They're the type of people to be like, I want love, I want affection, I want to feel good about myself. Let me go help someone else, because I know that through helping someone else, they will remember that, they will appreciate it, and therefore I will appreciate myself more, if that makes sense, They are very good with making peace with others. They are very harmonious beings. They're very loving natured people. So they compromise so much that they make peace by themselves naturally. They compromise, and that's how peace is given. They're not necessarily the person to be in a give and take relationship. They're the ones to be giving, the other person's taking, and therefore the balance is created. They create the balance themselves. They can make a relationship work by themselves. They can literally be like, okay, we're in a relationship, let me just do all the working, and you just do what you got to do, and I'll be here. They're a very good support system also. But a negative side to these people is that they have secret binges. They're very secretive. So therefore, when they're not feeling good, they may be someone that is an overeater, a binge eater. They indulge a lot. I have a friend like this, and I have a brother who has a 12th house placement. His moon, his Mars, his Mercury, they're all in the 12th house. And I have a Pisces moon, and my best friend has her Venus in Pisces and her moon in the 12th house. I mean, Mars in Pisces. I have experience with this placement. They are bingers, secretively though. My brother has like wrappers under his bed of all this candy and stuff, and he's like this thin. It's like you would never suspect it. My best friend is this thin too, but when I'm with her, like she would eat like a lot of food, but never eat in front of anybody else. And my brother's the same way. He wouldn't eat breakfast and he wouldn't do this because he's just not feeling it, But then he would eat a lot in his room. I'm the same way, Like I wouldn't. I've gotten better at it now that I've acknowledged it, but I would be a binge eater too. And it would never be binge eating on anything good. It would be binge eating on stuff that is bad. And if it's not binge eating, it's binge shopping. If it's not binge shopping, it's like binge watching Netflix. If it's not that, then it's like overly taking care of yourself. A lot of times these people can lose themselves in other things, in other people. They can binge on drugs. You would never, these are the type of people that it's really obvious that they're loony, like not loony, that they're emotionally unstable, or that there's something a little bit like off, or that they kind of give off this like, ooh, like no, like they're low lives, they can give off that aura, but a lot of times they're so good at hiding it. Like they're so secretive. People that have 8th house and 12th house placements, they're just so secretive when it comes to the stuff that they do behind doors, because they've learned how to deal with that. Either their mother or their father was someone that was very secretive, or was addicted to drugs, food, alcohol, anything like that. So they learn how to escape by themselves. That's just how they work. A lot of times this world is just so much for them that they need to escape. And they do that through drugs and alcohol and food and shopping and all of that. But they know how to keep it very secretive because that's just who they are. They're very secretive, and they're not necessarily vindictive or like secretive in the way like, oh, I'm secretive that I'm like holding all of these, like how a secret of a Scorpio would be. No, like they're secretive in a way like, I'm scared that people won't accept me like this, or like, it's all about like habits that they picked up. They have a lot of habits, and a lot of bad habits too. They can be drug addicts and stuff like that. And they repress it, and they repress their love nature. They repress their urges. They repress who they like. They repress how to show the affections. But once they do, and if they're paired with a partner that's equally as loving, they are in for a really big treat, because they have a really pure love nature. And when that can be expressed in its full form and not in the bad form, then it's something that's created it's like a beautiful creation, and it's something that's meant to be. They will find their true soulmates through all of that, through healing, through karmic healing, because a lot of them can get sucked into karmic relationships where it's just not good for them. Through all of that pain and suffrage and stuff like that they get through, if they ever get through it, it's like there's a huge light at the tunnel for them, and there's something really great waiting for them. So even though you may feel alone on the inside, and you may feel as if that you don't want to be here, a lot of them are prone to depression and all of that. And I know it's hard because this world kind of just sucks sometimes. It does. And I have a Pisces moon, so I kind of understand this. It just sucks, and you daydream and you feel like your fantasies are real, but they're not once you wake up out of them, and it just sucks. Once you kind of like accept it and start to move and just get out of whatever habits that you're in, you find that good things start flowing your way because you have a really strong power of manifestation that you can manifest everything that you want. Just look at like how to manifest things, and you will understand that stuff will come to flow to you very easily. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. And wait, hold up, I have one more point. You guys are very good at being artistic, poetically. You can be someone that writes really well. Poems are a huge thing for you guys. Drawing, dancing, singing, acting, all of those things come naturally to you. And once you start to tap into it, you will realize just how unique and powerful you really are. And I'm sorry that nobody really sees and understands how you feel, but when you know that it's okay, because no one will ever, and you just accept who you are and you start expressing yourself and escaping through things that benefit you, not necessarily through things that are bad for you, then you will see a huge growth in your spirituality, and you see a huge growth in who you are in a person. And when you apply your talents into this worldly world, you will start to manifest really good things and a really positive mindset. And you will begin to love yourself the way that you want to be loved, and you want to lose yourself in people, but you will start to lose yourself in the creativity that you hold in yourself. Yep, that was it for my Venus in 12th house. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.